Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Well, hello, this is Hal Coleman, and welcome to yet another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. I am here with my good friend and business partner in crime, Mike Stewart, Mr. Online. How are you doing, Mike?
Well, how you doing, Mr. Offline? And I'm so glad to be here with you. We actually had some folks saying, where are the podcasts? Where's the cast? So here they are.
Yeah, I've had some too. It's just been busy, and we've been doing some other things, but we're back on track. And I've had people say they like that Mr. Offline and Mr. Online thing. We ought to do something with that.
Well, we've been talking about it, and we'll continue talking about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we will. You know, we've been talking about a lot of things for almost 40 years. And,
time flies when you're having a good time with good people.
It sure does. But, you know, something I want to talk about today that is on my mind from time to time, and I think, man, we need to do a podcast about it. And it all originates back from, Larry Latimer, our friend and mentor for many years, was telling me one time that he said, listen, he had moved into a new house, and he said, I got this thing in the mail from a pest control company saying that they want me to pay them $150. I said, $150 for what? He said, well, I don't know. He said, I've never heard of these people, don't know who they are, but they want me to pay them $150. And I said, well, read it to him. So he read it, and what it was it was an annual termite renewal fee to renew the termite coverage on his home. Now, he'd been in his home for about 11 months. He'd never heard of these people, and all of a sudden he gets a statement from them that there was some money, to renew his contract and come out. So him being a marketing guy, he just flipped out over the absurdity of that. He said, I've been living in this house for 11 months under contract with these people, and I've never heard from them. I've never gotten anything in the mail from them. I've never gotten a phone call from them, nothing. I have not a clue who they are. And then I get this statement. He said, is that the way y'all do business in the pest control industry? He said, I'm just saying, I'm curious. Is that the way it's done? I said, well, unfortunately, a lot of times it is, because I said, people are bad about not contacting their customers and building relationships and following up. I said, and a lot of times it really does matter, as in this case. And of course, Larry sent him a note or a call and said he wasn't interested, and he switched over to me and my company, obviously. But and I get to give you a further illustration of this. The place where you and I used to hang out when you would come to Roswell, at Chicago's restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little family. It's a nice steakhouse, really, steak and seafood restaurant. It's and it's up here near my house on the corner. They have a lot of customers, do a great business. And Lynn and I have been eating there for years. And the manager, lady named Valerie, would you go in there and sit down, and at some point in time, Valerie's going to come over the table and talk to you and ask you if everything's okay. Probably say you scoot over, and she would sit down next to you and talk to you. Kind of really had a good relationship with her, but always wondering if everything was okay. Well, when Valerie retired, another lady named Jeannie took over, and I think you probably met Jeannie there before. But I'd go in there, we'd go to eat. She'd always come over to the table, always. Even if she saw you come in from across the dining room there, she would wave at you, and it wouldn't be long till she'd be over checking you out, make sure everything was okay. So, we go up there kind of on a regular basis, and after Jenny retired, we didn't know the manager. I never saw a manager up there. It's like they didn't have a manager. And we would eat up there from time to time, and we were up there with a couple, Russell and Gloria, friends of ours, and I was telling them, I said, I don't know anybody here now. And I said, some of the servers are really not very friendly, but I said, I don't know who runs this place now, who owns this place. And Russell said, it's a guy named Bob. We'll just say Bob. I don't remember his name, but he said, that's him right over there. And so Russell waved him over to the table, and he came over there, with this bewildered look, like it's something wrong. And Russell said, yeah, these are friends of ours, Hal and Lynn, and they said they'd never met the manager in here before. And I said, yeah. I said, how long have you been the manager here? He said, about a year and a half. And I almost fell out of my chair. I said, a year and a half? And we've never met you. You've never been by my table and introduced yourself or anything. And the guy looked at me like I was some kind of person from Mars. Like, why would I ask a question? I said, we used to have great relationships with the managers here, but you've been here a year and a half. And we come in here once every month or so, or a couple of months to eat, but how come we've never met you? And the guy had no explanation for it. He just kind of like, well, look, I got to get back to work. And then he walked away. And I told him, I said, this is the last time I'm ever going to eat in this restaurant. I said, I'm kissing this place goodbye. I said, because it's kind of expensive to eat here. And I said, that's the manager's attitude, that he could care less whether we're here or not. So we found another place to start eating and hanging out, and then to take it further, I was in Florida at a conference this past week, the Georgia Pest Control Annual Summer Conference down at Hammock Beach Resort, which is an absolutely phenomenal place if you ever get a chance to go there. And we would go in they had several restaurants on site there, but one of them we ate at probably 3 times. And I can't even remember that, but it sits out separate from the main building. It's got a view of the ocean. Man, you go in there and sit down to eat and order your food, and about the time your food gets to the table and you have a chance to look it over, this guy was over there, walked up to the table, introduced himself as the manager, shakes hands, looks over your food with you to make sure everything's okay. And he was just laid back and made us feel like we were having dinner with our cousin or somebody. And he walked away, and I said, wasn't that wonderful? I said, that guy's on top of this place. And we'd go in there and eat again. He'd come over to the table, introduce himself, and making sure that everything was perfect with our dining experience there. Now, if you're in the pest control business and you've got customers out there, take that example and relate it to your business. If you're not reaching out and communicating with your customers, you're making a bad mistake. Because I get people ask me all the time, what do you do to keep people from bailing out on you for a $10 cheaper service? Yeah, you got a customer and somebody offers them a cheaper service and they cancel. I said, well, easy explanation there. You have no relationship with them. They don't know you. It's all about money, and that's the only thing they know is they pay you money, and if somebody else will do what you do for less. And And I had a client who had about 10 routes. And he said, I got this one route where I'm having a lot of cancellations on it. And he said, more than normal. Something's going on out there. What should I do? I said, what should you do? I said, you should get on the phone and call some of those customers that have canceled over the last few months and just touch base and say, I know, you canceled your service and I'm really concerned about it. And I just wondered if I could ask you why you canceled. I said, I guarantee you what you're going to find out is that they didn't know their technician, had no relationship with their technician, never saw the technician. So he called me a couple of days later. He said, I've already done it. He said, I called about a dozen of those people. And he said, I got the same story. Well, they didn't know what they're paying for. They didn't know the guy. They never see him, never get any contact, and just felt like, somebody else offered them a little better deal and they took it. I said, I knew that's what it was. So you have to communicate with your customers. You have to ask them if everything's okay. You have to let them know that you are committed to them having a great experience doing business with you and that you're on top of things. And if they have any concerns, and you'll find some of them that have concerns, they just haven't voiced them yet, and it's kind of festering. So you nip a lot of things in the bud, but you need to be at least sending thank you cards. Call and leave messages on their voicemail that just says, hey, this is Fred over at Fred's Exterminating, and I just wanted to call you and just let you know to thank you for your business and let you know how much I appreciate the fact that you have us to take care of your pest problems, that you trust us, and I want you to know we're 100% committed. If you ever have a problem or a question, you can call me at this number. I'll be available to you. And again, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know how much we appreciate you, and we're here if you ever have a question or a need. And just leave that message on their machine. Thank you cards, notes. If you're at their house and nobody's home and you do an exterior service, take your iPhone out and record a little message and send it to them, or leave a voicemail. Say, hey, Mr. Johnson, I'm just leaving your home now. I just got through doing your service, and I want to let you know everything looks fine. I treated around your, tell them what you did, and let them know that you're there, that you're thinking about them. But if you don't, then they don't know who you are. They have no relationship. And when it comes time to renew, a lot of them are like, no, I'm not paying them your money. I don't even know who they are. So I just wanted to talk about that today. And Mike, you jump in there, and because I know you have some from the online standpoint too.
And now here's a word from our sponsor.
Google Pest Control Marketing. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Did you hear that? That is a jingle. But more than that, it is an audio logo and what I call a marketing earworm. But that's a bug, that's a worm you want in your local market on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and podcasts like you're listening to right now. Yes, you should do a podcast as a PCO, but we'll talk about that another time. You want your market singing Google your name, what you do, and your phone number. Simple, but it works. If you want to cash in on this marketing bonanza, go to pestcontrolmarketingjingles.com to learn more. Or just call me, Mike Stewart, at 770-826-3662, or call Hal Coleman at 770-993-0004. And we would love to show you how to do what we call search and call advertising with earworms. And oh yeah, it works on that old-timey technology of radio and television. Why don't you call us today and learn more?
Google Pest Control Marketing. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
I just wanted to talk about that today. And Mike, you jump in there, and because I know you have some from the online standpoint too. Well,
it's not so much online as it's a real success, common sense. And what you've explained, if you've never heard of it, I'm going to bring it up right now. one of the key success mindsets and patterns that every business owner should make it a priority, and nobody's going to do it with perfection, but it's what Napoleon Hill said. This is all about, if you want to succeed, you got to go the extra miles, what Napoleon said. And most people won't go the extra mile. In other words, you get the subscriber to the route, and you're doing the bare minimum that you promised. And so what happens, like a good friend of mine, Chuck Reeves, used to say, you become a commodity. When you're doing the bare minimum that everybody does, then you're a commodity, and at that point, it's all about price. So if somebody comes along and says, well, hey, I can do the exact same thing or even a little better and save you $10, because you didn't go the extra mile, you didn't build the relationship, you didn't do something that everybody else doesn't do, then you're just a commodity, and they don't see the value. Chuck used to teach, do everything you can to raise the value of your service or product, and price is never an issue. And so that's what go the extra mile with Napoleon Hill is all about, is just say, what are other people not doing? Are they calling to, make it a point? There's plenty of software, online software, scheduling software that'll remind you, these are the people I need to call because it's been 6 months or it's been 3 months. Call them once a quarter. How long could it take? Do something that other people don't do. Learn to send them a private YouTube video thanking them for their business. There's actually a website called dub.com that's perfect for sending online videos that are completely private to people's emails. You can do the exact same thing for free with YouTube and your cell phone. But, make a list of things that you can do that are easy, quick, and simple that make people feel special. I mean, up here in the music business, they all talk about why Taylor Swift and Garth Brooks are such big celebrities. I don't care for either of their musics, but I admire their marketing. They go the extra 1,000 miles to make fans diehard fans. And you got to do those same principles. You got to make diehard fans out of your customers if you want them to stay with you and never to want to leave. I mean, when we have a customer who believes in the value of what we do, Hal, with our coaching or our whatever services we do, you'd be hard pressed to pry those people away from us. But when people don't see the value or don't want to see the value, well, then you can't salvage those. But as long as you've gone the extra mile, as Art Williams used to say, all you can do is all you can do, and you're not going to get everybody. But don't lose people because, and I'm just going to say an ugly word you're not going to like, don't be lazy and not do the extra mile.
Yeah, there you go. And, there's something else the extra mile does, too, is it initiates the law of reciprocity. So now you've gone the extra mile. You've given them more than they expected and more than what they paid for. And now they feel appreciative and they feel obligated to stay with you because they feel indebted to you. And that's how do you feel about somebody that you're indebted to? In other words, if you needed money and you needed $200 for something and you didn't have the money and your next door neighbor loans you $200 to buy it, now you're indebted to him for $200. But how do you feel about your next door neighbor because he loans you that money?
Well, if you're a person of character, you're going to feel like I need to pay that back and pay it back with interest. You
love them, yes. You're appreciative and obligated. The people that we're indebted to, we hold them in high esteem because the reason we're indebted to them is because they bailed us out or they gave us something that we felt like we didn't even pay for or deserve. So it's all tied together. Yeah. But anyway, Mike, I got to get out of here.
All right.
And I know you probably do too, but I just wanted to talk about this, and I think we covered it pretty well. But, man, you got to let your customers hear from you. You have to stay in touch with them and make them feel good and entertain them and build up their egos and say good things about them and let them know how much you appreciate them. And if you'll do that, you'll build customers that'll stay with you for a lifetime.
And that's all about going the extra mile. And, of course, if you want to go the extra mile for yourself, you ought to give Hal Coleman a call at 770-993-0004, because I'll tell you, Hal will go the extra mile and spend an hour with you and look at your business and tell you what he can do to make a difference to explode your business. I've seen him do it time and time again. You know, some take him up on that offer. If you haven't taken Hal up on the offer of his free hour, when he's willing to go the extra mile for you, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I guarantee you'll come away from that hour with some very valuable information and strategies that you can go right out and use, and it won't cost you a penny. But that's just the way we work. You know, Zig Ziglar said you can have anything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's what we focus on here with the Pest Control Marketing Podcast, is trying to give as many PCOs and WCOs as we can, good information and good stuff that'll help them, and it always comes back. But anyway, Mike, and they can reach you if they have any questions about their internet marketing, or they want to talk about doing a jingle, earworm jingle, or any of that stuff. They can reach you at 770-826-3662, and you'll also spend free time with them, won't you?
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. When it comes to the offline and online world, Hal and I want to help you succeed. So you give us a call. That's my cell phone. I answer it all the time, and I love talking to WCOs and PCOs. And like I said, we can make a difference if you're willing to do like us. We go the extra mile for our folks, and if you go the extra mile for yourself and others, you know, it's going to make a huge difference in your business. So till next time, I'm going to get out of here too, Hal.
I am too. So, folks, be sure to stay tuned for the next episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast in iTunes and on your phones, and in Stitcher on your Android. But more importantly, go to our website, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. Subscribe to our email list to always be notified of new episodes. You're never going to want to miss what we got coming up next, and you never know what we're going to be able to do to help you with your pest control marketing.